Thank you, CNN. Words cannot express how much I appreciate the Cemetery News Network. And it's not because they supply me with an endless supply of content debunking their nonstop propaganda. It's not because CNN is a leading candidate every year to win the huge embarrassing failure awards. Don't get me wrong. Uncle KC definitely appreciates all of that. It does not go unnoticed. But today, I am appreciating CNN for another reason. Thanks to the Cemetery News Network, we now know the biggest fear. We know the biggest threat facing America under the tyrannical leadership of Donald Trump. Orange Man bad! Believe it or not, the biggest threat to America, it is not another incident like January 6th, which, as you guys know, that has been one of the biggest pretend fears amongst deacons at Woke United Methodists the last couple of years. CNN is not worried about North Korea. They're not worried about the current situation in South Korea. Ironically enough, they're not even worried about the catering budget now that the donut diva Brian Stelter is back at the network. As soon as the donut diva was rehired, the stock price of Dunkin' Donuts, it went up by 69%. CNN, they're not worried about Ukraine. They're not worried about the boogeyman, also known as Vlad Putin. They're not worried about the threat of global war. They're not worried about the caboose on the southern border no longer being bruised under Donald Trump. All those fears, all those concerns, they pale in comparison to the real threat facing America in 6 weeks when Donnie Trump takes back the White House. According to CNN, the biggest threat to America under the tyrannical leadership of Donald Trump is LGBTQIA @+ rights. If you haven't already, make sure to like and subscribe. You can follow me on Twitter at KC_BTL84. Of all the problems facing America, of all the problems that were created by our former fearless leader, Johnny B. Biden, and his pretend vice president, Cackling Cam Harris. Speaking of Cackling Cam, has anyone seen her recently? Has anyone heard from the Cackling Choir? I mean, it is the holiday season. Christmas is only, 2 weeks away? I was expecting to see Cam Harris on the Cackling Choir going door to door singing Christmas carols. America rejected me, ba-rum-ba-bum-bum. My VP sits down to pee, ba-rum-ba-bum-bum. I have been patiently waiting by my front door, anticipating the performance from the Cackling Choir. Where in the hell are they? Has anyone seen Cam Harris? Last time I saw her, it looked like she had consumed one too many eggnogs. I'm worried about Cackling Cam. Anyway, of all the problems that Donnie Trump is inheriting from Johnny B. Biden, CNN, they are worried about a mythical problem that does not exist. CNN is pretending to be concerned about Donnie Trump making gay marriage illegal. I have been following this campaign since the beginning. Unless I missed something, I don't remember the Trumper saying anything about gay marriage. Hell, I don't remember the Trumper even mentioning the LGBT community. The only thing I remember him saying is boys don't belong in the girls' bathroom. That doesn't have anything to do with nuptials. It's just common sense. But according to CNN, the nuptials of Bob and Rob, they are under attack as soon as the Trumper enters the White House. Yesterday, Pamela Brown was hosting her morning dump on CNN that goes unnoticed by her family and friends. Casey, who in the hell is Brown Pampers? Well, brown Pampers is what Timmy Walls puts in the trash can right before he grabs the Tampax in the men's restroom. Pamela Brown is one of the anonymous faces hosting a show at the Cemetery News Network. Yesterday, she had a lovely anonymous couple on her show. Now, initially, viewers couldn't figure out who was the host and who was the guest. When you're watching CNN, you never know because everyone at the network is unknown. They're unrecognizable. But the lovely couple, it was Shelby Wax and Olivia Rosen. They were recently engaged, and Shelby, she wrote about their romantic courtship in Vogue magazine, whatever the fuck it's called. It's one of those magazines that you can only find in the library. Shelby and Olivia, they are in the midst of planning their wedding, but they're worried that the wedding is never going to take place because the Trumper is going to walk into the White House and he's going to take away their right to get married. Now, obviously, this fear is irrational. Any honest media outlet, they would question the lovely couple about their fear if they had them on at all. Not CNN, though. No! Instead of questioning the couple about their fear, instead of asking them why they were afraid of Donald Trump, or where they heard Donald Trump say that he was making marriage between the L's and the G's illegal, CNN, they took their fear and they tried to rationalize it. Watch for yourself.
In the November issue of Vogue, Shelby Wax writes about waking up on the Wednesday after Election Day and wondering if that wedding will still be possible. In her piece, Wax says in part, quote, "The one thing that scares me most is I no longer feel like I can envision my future. Will a stacked Supreme Court overturn my right to marry? Will my family be recognized as a family by my country?" Shelby, you write about how Trump's victory has spurred you and others in the LGBTQ plus community to get married now rather than wait.
The morning after the election, I woke up and it was just this feeling of fear, but also this need to take action.
You acknowledge that you may be acting out of fear, but that you also say that fear is valid. Olivia, what is your biggest fear now that Donald Trump is returning to the White House?
Marriage is a human right, and I think that's at stake right now, and it's something that we should be proactive about.
Look, I have nothing against Shelby and Olivia. My problem here is CNN. Towards the end of the clip, after listening to these mythical fears for several minutes, Pampers Brown asked the lovely couple, "Hey, ladies, how's your family taking the news? Are they supportive of your engagement?" The entire country is supportive of their engagement. Marriage between women has been legal for the last decade. A better question would have been, what is the basis for your fear? Can you give me an example, one example, of Donald Trump saying that he was abolishing gay marriage? That's what a real journalist would do. A real journalist would give viewers the entire story. But the only thing CNN is worried about is pushing this narrative of fear. This same narrative that played a role in Cam Harris losing the election. And the same narrative that has ratings at CNN circling the pooper. But the absolute filth at CNN, it got even worse. Yesterday, Dana Bash had some doofus named Neil Franklin on her show. They were talking about the death of Brian Thompson, the CEO of United Healthcare. Now, as of the recording of this video, the police are still searching for the suspect. I think they have video footage of the suspect, but they just haven't been able to find him. Now, according to Neil Franklin, there could be another person involved in this crime. Well, Casey, was it his wife? I heard they were no longer living together. No, it was not his wife. But according to Neil Franklin, it could be a member of the Thompson family. Because Neil floated a conspiracy theory claiming that Brian Thompson could have played a role in his own demise. Watch for yourself.
There have been times when people have orchestrated their own demise for certain reasons. We know that there was some, and I'm not saying this is the case, but as an investigator.
Like for insurance purposes?
Absolutely, insurance purposes. Maybe they fear some type of investigation down the road. Maybe they want to leave their family in a good light. But there have been cases where people have orchestrated their own demise. And here's another reason.
And just to say, you're saying in a nice language, you're saying that it is a possibility.
It is a possibility
that he hired somebody to kill him.
Absolutely.
Wait a minute. Let me make sure I'm understanding you correctly. You're telling me that Brian Thompson organized his own demise for insurance purposes? He arranged his own demise to collect on some life insurance benefit? I'm no expert when it comes to insurance, but how in the hell would that benefit Brian Thompson? The money doesn't do him a damn bit of good if he's no longer capable of breathing. This is the type of coverage that you get from CNN. We've got Captain Doofus floating conspiracy theories that Brian Thompson arranged his own death to collect on the life insurance. The garbage on CNN was so rancid yesterday, even left-wing media was criticizing the network. It is abundantly clear to me, CNN, they are trying to appeal to the fringes of society. CNN is trying to appeal to the same people who emailed me last night criticizing me for not celebrating the death of Brian Thompson. I had some maniac email me last night multiple times. He's been sending me emails. It's been going on for a few months now. Most of the emails he sends me are incoherent thoughts. He must have spent a lot of time and effort on the emails last night because for the first time, I was actually able to read and comprehend them. He was pissed off with Uncle Casey. He claimed that I had sold my soul to the mainstream media. You are deplorable. You're no different than the media. You accept and endorse the corporate demise of many, many thousands. You accept and ignore justice. You are immoral. I hate you. Ah! This dork was so emotional. This dude was so mad at me because I criticized Taylor Lorenz for celebrating the death of Brian Thompson. Like I said yesterday, I hate insurance, especially health insurance. I think health insurance is a ripoff. I think health insurance is the reason that healthcare is prohibitively expensive. There ain't nothing I like about the insurance industry, but let me tell you something right now. If you're expecting me to come on here and celebrate someone losing their life, you are watching the wrong channel. I don't know anything about Brian Thompson. In the last 24 to 36 hours, I have read a lot about United Healthcare. I've read a lot of stuff about the company that I don't agree with, but that does not mean I want to see the company's CEO lose his life. And it damn sure doesn't mean I'm going to celebrate it. If you want to hear conspiracy theories about it, go watch CNN. There's plenty of room at CNN. You'll have a front row seat because no one else is watching the network. Give me your thoughts on this. CNN promotes irrational fear. Actually, CNN promotes a damn lie about the possibility of Donald Trump making gay marriage illegal. Several hours later, CNN has a guest on that pushes a conspiracy theory about Brian Thompson. Who is CNN trying to appeal to? What audience are they trying to attract? Because it damn sure ain't normal people. Sound off in the comments below. Best way to contact me is through email, btlkc84@gmail.com. I'll see you guys tomorrow.